Hello, I'm here with Alex Cat, and I'm Mr. Pink and Yellow.
Hello.
So we want to do, we want to reply to this video, and then we want to show a couple of articles to back up our points. So Chibi doesn't learn. Most of these like right-wing nerds or apolitical nerds, because it's the same thing. It's the same problem basically. They've got no political understanding. These right-wing or apolitical nerds or centrist nerds, right? They never learn. They don't have like long-term pattern recognition.
No.
So they're like like animals. Like animals don't learn, right? In a lot of ways, like they get hunted by humans. They don't know how to deal with the humans hunting them because it's just beyond their comprehension,
Yes,
right?
it's like
Never like
that. Yes.
yes, yes.
So
So
yeah, Chibi in particular has no political awareness, no understanding about the
yes,
yes.
what's going on?
Yeah,
So let's, and it is getting worse. This is getting worse.
yeah the censorship.
So let's watch this.
We have officially entered a Shimoneta reality. It was not a parody, it was a warning to things to come, because this type of censorship is no longer enough to censor anime, manga, light novel, and gaming content. You now need to go even further by most likely putting an entire black box over the entire screen just to be able to post something like this. And this has definitely been a push we have seen for a while.
So they mean anime porn where they blur it out or put black bars over it. As
Yeah,
part
that's
of
the
the
Japanese thing. No. The Japanese thing. That's nothing to do with the feminists. Actually, that's done out of spite. But yeah,
But they're gonna make it even worse now. So they want to like completely cover porn, like just with a black box completely.
they don't allow it. They're just not going to allow it. Never mind, they're going to cover it. They're not going to allow it.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you can take a look at like Kodansha manga panels of what they like to do when they release it, and it's paid content, by the way. So yeah, this is the future of anime, manga, gaming, and art within Japan. Thousands of Japanese creators and artists are now at risk of having the authorities show up at their door and potentially facing jail time for what they have drawn. If you think I'm joking, I am not. This is a recent change with a new guideline that Fantia posted less than 24 hours ago, giving creators and thousands upon thousands of creators on their platform basically only 5 days to retroactively censor and remove everything that might violate their guidelines. For those that need clarification on what Fantia is, it is
How is someone going to end up in jail for violating that website guidelines? He's not making this clear, right? He's not explaining himself very well.
Yes.
So yeah. So let's carry on.
It's a site very similar to Patreon, where artists can post their artwork on the platform and basically get paid for it. Also think of something very similar to basically Pixiv and Fanbox. That's pretty much what Fantia is. And so, just as we have seen all around...
So I remember all the coping right-wing nerds going that Japan's not going to bow to the woke. Japan's never going to fall. They're immune to the woke. They're immune to the leftists. They're never going to bow the knee. And what's happening? All these Japanese websites are getting closed down or changed or attacked by MasterCard and Visa, right?
Yes.
So Visa and MasterCard are international. That's what gives Americans so much power. And like when America's politically captured by feminists, when Visa and MasterCard are politically captured by feminists, they get to push the weight around out of spite.
Yes.
So
it's really pathetic what kind of posturing men did. Just thinking like, oh, we got this one country, Japan, that's just gonna be a bastion of free expression forever, and then do nothing.
If that was the case, you shouldn't have to settle for that. You should have your own country be free. It's pathetic, but it's like avoidance, passive avoidance as usual, right? It's just like going your own way, being meek, reactive, not proactive, like just moving along somewhere else like a nomad,
Yes.
a helpless nomad.
Yes.
Time and time again, especially in the last few months and years, we have seen where a lot of Japanese platforms, creators, and artists have been heavily censored by the website that they're on. And usually the reason why this happens and these guidelines are introduced is because of payment processors or banks. I would like to point out, in just the last month and a half, we have had two different creators, or actually three different Japanese creators that made games that have had their entire payments either declined or halted thanks to banks or payment processors.
Pause.
This is not...
That's malicious, done by the feminist-controlled banks. The feminist-controlled banks. That's malicious and done out of spite. It's economic violence. It's the debanking. Like like debanking is a very, very serious thing. It's right. It's like you usually only use against organised crime or terrorists. They're debanking people for hentai games. Right.
Yes.
This is how insane our system is. It's not fun. It's absolutely insane. It's captured by the feminists. This is political capture by the feminists. So. And we've allowed this for the past 40 years, and it's just going to get worse. Yeah.
Yes.
Not including the stuff I've already talked about previously, with like DL site being attacked, or Pixiv being attacked, or any other site that has been attacked by payment processors to have artwork censored, removed, or they no longer can make money. And so when I take a hard look at this situation with Fantia, I'm assuming the exact same thing is happening. Now at this time, there is no clarification if banks or payment processors are doing this, but this is an ongoing trend that you see over and over again, and when you see basically a pattern, it's pattern recognition. I mean, when you see it over and over again, you see continuously the exact same thing where Japanese creators are targeted and it's artists as well targeted. You start to key in
Men
on
targeted. It's all the genres that men are liked or perceived to like. It's men being targeted.
Yeah, this is
right?
Yeah, it's a thing to keep in mind. This is ultimately a gender issue. It's a men's issue. So
Yes.
we don't see these censorship plays being done on women's romance novels, for example. No.
Yep.
Yeah.
likely it's the exact same group that's been using mafia-like tactics to do the exact same thing to this new site, or Fantia in this case, doing it once again to another site. Now we need to get into these guidelines and what this necessarily means and why this is so scary for Japanese creators and artists alike. There's a lot of different creators and politicians that are now talking about this openly, and there's a lot of people within the Japanese community that are speaking out about this, but a lot of people within the West clearly at this time are not aware of this situation. This is still something that is relatively new and bubbling to the surface, and not a lot of, let's say, Western media sources and stuff and content creators have really picked up this information right now or are even aware of how bad this actually is. Now, this is the original post where this all began, and it originates in Japanese, as you can see, and there's probably going to be a little bit of translation errors in this, but I will try to read it to my best of my ability and to try to explain what is being said here. So, the revision to Fantia's guidelines on corrections and Mosaic standards seem pretty alarming. I have a feeling a massive number of affected creators are going to pop up. What's so alarming about it? This guideline will apply not only to new works posted after the revision date, but also to works posted in the past. This is a pretty big detail. So basically, there's a lot of creators on this platform that, has posted probably hundreds upon hundreds, thousands of different art pieces that they get paid for. And obviously, if you've been on this platform for, a very long time, it's very hard to sort through thousands of different posts and artwork that you've posted over the years. And so basically, given only 5 days to be able to go for all these posts and censor them or remove them is a pretty daunting task.
I mean, it's basically just bullying them off the platform. Bullying them out.
That's spite.
Yeah.
Malicious. It's economic violence, actually, because a lot of artists do make the living. It's actually a very good way to make a living. If you're a talented artist, you get people to, especially if you're turned on by your own drawings. Like if you're drawing hentai stuff, like big boob women, right? And you're getting paid for it by fans. That's a great living as far as I'm concerned.
That's a dream job. Yeah. And it...
Yes, and
yes.
Yes. Economic violence. This is feminist economic violence against men.
Yes.
As well.
Feminists in control of the payment processors, just carrying out violence against men who just draw erotica.
Yeah. And structural violence. Economic violence, yes.
Yes, hatred for men. Yes. Just getting living off something that fulfills them.
Yes.
Like,
and more or less to get to the crux of the issue is that a lot of these artists are extremely concerned that basically either they gotta delete their account or just delete everything from the past and start over because of just how dire these guidelines are that theoretically can have authorities get involved and potentially give them fines or arrest them. But let me continue reading because I'm, getting ahead of myself. If it's just new works, I get that, but past works too. And this is a big problem that a lot of these creators are having is that basically it's not just affecting new stuff that's being posted on the platform, it's everything retroactively in the past, which is a very daunting task for a lot of these creators to sort through. But if past works are included as well, creators who have been active on Fantia for a long time will have to revise a huge volume of their past works by the guideline revision date May 25th, 2026, Monday. So basically, this guideline just came out basically in Japan this morning, okay? This is when the Japanese community found out about it on this site. And there's more to this in a second, which I'll explain why this is bad. But basically, they now have like 5 days to revise all their work, or they can face serious consequences within, their guidelines. And this is really bad. So, like, even if, like, they basically was willing to follow through and try to do this, 5 days is not enough time to revise every single art piece and self-censor
himself. He's very repetitive. He's not very good at this. I don't know why he's so popular, to be honest.
Right.
So he's basically, again, he could contend this. Maybe he's like dragging it out for like a certain amount of time, or for some weird reason. But he's like, okay, they got to. He's basically said this like 3 times in different ways. They've got to revise these pictures before the time limit. We've got that. You don't have to say this again, Chibi. Come on.
Yes.
It's not very good.
Yeah.
So let's carry on.
Okay.
To the point to where it can be posted online once again, so you can see why this is bad. Anyways, it was announced on May 19th, today is May 20th, so they've only got the remaining 5 days to revise their past works, or in the worst case, request to revise the relevant content, immediate takedown, or deletion. This is basically what's going on here in the guidelines. Freeze or closure of fan club if no improvements are made, and disclosure and reporting of log information to police or other relevant authorities if serious legal violations are suspected. So this is basically what the guidelines.
That's done by. That's malicious. Like, it's not even disclosures and reporting of log information to police or of other relevant authorities if legal violations are suspected. So it's not even legal violations occur. It's suspected, which is vague. Like, if they've got illegal stuff on the site, it's very easy to see it one way or the other. So they've got to come up. So they don't like this male on the site. They don't like him, so they're going to phone the police on him. That's what it sounds like to me.
Just
right.
We can just make an accusation. Yeah, we can just make an accusation on a male, and get the law to get them entangled in the law. Waste his time. Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yes.
Are saying is that if they don't revise the content within a few days, all the content and relevant content will be immediately taken down, most likely causing account deletion. We know how these systems work when it comes to online. If there's enough, let's say, problems that appear on an account, usually the account could get suspended or removed or whatever, or completely blocked. And in this case, this is probably what this means here, is that an account that's obviously, an artist that's surviving off getting paid on this site, if they get a lot of immediate takedowns, it could probably put their entire income in jeopardy and probably cancel any payments that they could possibly make, which you can see is really bad. Also, this continues on with freezing or closure of the fan club if no improvements are made, basically meaning that on the low spectrum of the scenario, they will basically freeze the account, put a lock on it until things are handled, and if you don't handle it, most likely it will go into option 2 right here, where the account most likely will be removed. So this is a pretty bad thing, which means that instantly, like if an artist has thousands of different works and art pieces, and they don't handle them in time within the 5 days, their account's going to be frozen, and they're not going to make any money anymore until something of this is actually handled and done. But then you have disclosure of reporting log information to police or relevant authorities. This is completely a breach of privacy, and obviously I don't live in Japan, so I don't know exactly how all these laws work. I know there's like an article, like 175, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that has a big detail to the reason why this is happening. But basically, this seems like a further push than it's ever been for content censorship within Japan. That feels like it's motivation, and it's driven by motivation by most likely external forces even outside of Japan, most likely payment processors and banks, because like I said, this follows a very similar trend that we've seen over and over again, with a lot of Japanese content being censored. This
is weak. External forces, payment processors, but not naming who the actors are. They're feminists. So
yes,
and these men have seen that it's feminists in the past, like many times over, and they don't learn. They don't just admit it.
Yes.
the world thanks to these different higher up banks and payment processors. But let's continue reading. So apparently some pretty harsh measures will be taken. Probably it's hard to imagine that Torano I probably butchered that, forgive me, voluntarily created these new standards. Now I know about this company, and the reason why I know about this company actually, even though I just butchered the name, is that they've always been very friendly with its creators and tried to be very transparent and basically creator first. That's what this company has always been, that is in control of Fantia. But the fact that this is happening once again feels like there is an external pressure that's outside of their control, which happens to a lot of these Japanese companies. Now, to make life harder for creators, so I suspect there might have been pressure from police or something to tighten up the revision criteria. This is a big detail. Basically, what the individual here is saying is that there is no way that this company is doing this willingly unless there is some form of external pressure, which I think is a very accurate assessment, because obviously this is basically self-imploding your company and site. Like, why would you do this? Because it's like, if everything is operating on all cylinders, you're making money.
So here's the thing, Collective Shout, the payment processes, they can depank you, but they're not really involved in getting the police and law on you. So this seems like something Japan's doing by themselves. So
The thing is, a company gets taken over by feminists and they'll burn profits to the ground. It's been proven that they don't care about profits. Feminists have burnt so many things to the ground and made them profitless. Like Kathleen Kennedy is still associated with LucasArts,
yes,
right?
yes,
Like they don't punish. They can burn the companies to the ground. They don't care. They don't care.
yes.
Yeah.
So, but they're also bringing the law into this now. So bringing the police against men. So, no, Japan has a right-wing cabinet, like a nationalist cabinet, by the way. And it's all these right-wingers who are celebrating free speech of hentai and anime, when it's the right that attacks it in the end, too.
Yeah.
So,
yes. But most right wingers are not pro hentai. Let's be real. The right wingers who are pro hentai are a minority.
yes.
Like most, let me give you an example. Most MRAs are actually right wing, but most right wingers are not MRAs. Not even 1%.
Yes.
That's how it actually. Yes. So.
Yes. Like most right wingers think men who watch anime and hentai are pedophiles. They want to perform vigilante on these men. So
yes.
Like this cause goes beyond the right wing or left wing, for that matter. It's like, this is a men's issue. It's a men's cause. Anyway.
And all that, you're getting a cut from what these creators are doing and stuff. Obviously, you wouldn't want to destroy that. But the fact that they're going out of their way to potentially destroy thousands upon thousands of creators overnight, I think kind of indicates that it's outside of their control. That said, this isn't just a problem for Torania or Fantia. It makes me anxious that it could spread to magazines, Tankobon, and other support sites in the future, and this is a very, actually, real serious and understandable fear, because if you have this pressure happening to the site for artists and creators being completely censored, this basically means that this can spread to other sources, other manga, other sites, and we've already seen this. This is the Pandora's box and domino effect that I've been talking about for a while that is taking place, and even the Japanese community is obviously talking about it. But at any rate, the time until the new standards take effect.
Yes, and men only had thought-terminating cliches to defend themselves with. Men would just say sex sells. Oh, men would just say, "Oh, Japan's just a completely different culture. It's not woke." They say, "Oh,
Or they use a tourist as well, which is low IQ wing. It's like bragging, like, "Oh, you're not a real fan." Basically, we're the real fans. It's like, no, it's nothing to do with the so-called tourist. Someone who's coming into your fans and to sabotage and destroy it is not a tourist. They're vandals.
Yeah,
low IQ right wing nerds. Yeah.
Like, men who enjoy porn and hentai needed to actually fight back. They needed to be politically active to stop this.
They need positive rights. There needs to be positive rights for consumers and men. So positive right to enjoy porn, not to be censored. Positive right to not to be interfered with AI. A positive right to be on. If you're not a hateful person, you're not committing hate speech like feminists are. You should not be deplatformed from social media. Stuff like that, or you should not be censored on YouTube. There needs to be positive rights.
Yes,
all these corporations is banking organisations like fucking men over. It's fucking disgusting.
And it'll be a real revolution for men to have positive rights, because all we had before was just a negative piece. Like,
Yes.
men's just sort of passively watching porn and playing games, but feminists weren't really going after them yet. But now feminists are going after men, and they're winning.
Yes. They don't fail. The feminists, and Keegan is still getting hired by these companies, right?
Yes.
And they're making a good living. Yeah.
Yes.
So it works out for them. Yeah.
Yeah, that the woman who's famous for demonizing men who look at sexy women in video games. Like, this is humiliating for men.
But also her criticisms had no validity whatsoever. It was not like she was aiming for like an unfair goal. So, you don't have enough feminine representation in games. Oh, that's stereotypically feminine. That's too feminine. Oh no, you're just emasculating the female form there. You're making it look too masculine for male norms. Like, she'll just like move the goalposts constantly. So she was just that should have been like, fuck off, invader. Fuck off, vandal. That's what should have happened.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
Fact is way too short, so creators with a lot of past works probably won't be able to finish revising in time. So as for what they can do now, by the guideline revision date May 25th, 2026, temporarily taking down past works to avoid account bans or the like, and then releasing them, basically as revisions over time, might be the best approach. Some creators might end up deleting their past works entirely, so fans might want to check out things out sooner rather than later. So more or less, this means that there's going to be a lot of different artwork and stuff that's probably going to be permanently lost and removed from the internet because of this change, which is just legitimately diabolical and sad to see.
And that was another thought-terminating cliche men attach themselves onto. They'll say, anything that gets put on the internet stays there forever. Well, we're learning now.
A lot of stuff gets lost.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of stuff I can't find on the internet. So...
a lot of men's rights related articles and research you can't really find on the internet now. You
can't find it via Google, especially.
Yes.
If it's still there, findable search engines.
Yes. You have to look on way back. You have to look on archives and way back machines, and you have to be lucky that those aren't taken down.
Yes.
Yes.
But this is basically what's going on here, is that any form of censorship blur effect in this, like the lines and all that, that's apparently not enough anymore, and that's honestly just horrifying to actually see. But there's other comments that comment about this, like we have, Kurishi that basically comments on, the situation as well, trying to spread it to other people within the community and also the English community.
Let's pause. Let's look at some interesting articles before we finish this off, because I think it's time to talk about
Sure, yes. So, okay, here's our famous feminist organization, Band Collective Shout. So,
and there's even, if you go to the website, there's even older articles about this as well. They've been planning to do this for years.
Yeah, so tell me if you can read this.
Read it. This site's been around since 2014, by the way. This is a long-term campaign. So,
yes.
Win, new policies on Steam and rape incest games removed, which is a lie. It's like calling video games murder games, right? Like action games, murder simulators or whatever. Rape and incest games. Why should incest games be removed? Right? Who cares? It's fiction, right? A major win for women and girls. Like incest and rape stuff is enjoyed by women more than men anyway, so that's a lie. So following our successful campaign of 70k petitions to get rape simulation games, no mercy pulled from gaming platform Steam, we discovered almost 500 games depicting rape, incest, sexual torture, and child abuse. This is lies, right there. I've never found one game with child abuse in it. Yes. Never. I can't think of one. So, let me see. Is there a game where you can kill child NPCs? I can't think of one.
No. Can you think of one? Very rare games like Deus Ex from 25 years ago. I remember that.
Right.
But is it?
I've never played that. So this week.
Yeah.
Sorry, you go.
No, nothing.
Right. We encourage our supporters to email payment process and call them to stop facilitating payments and profiting from these games on Steam, and over 1,067 did. So this is not a massive grassroots movement. This is not popular. They can barely get anyone people to do it, but because they're feminists and they've got connections, when they speak, governments listen because they network, right? They're not antisocial weirdos like men are. Okay,
Yes.
look. That video I did recently, you got men complaining about collectivism. Oh, you got collective your name. You're just like the feminists. Basically, these evil people get shit done because they're a collective.
Yeah.
This week, we released an open letter signed by leading global anti-sexploitation organisations. So there's no sexploitation in fictional works. And individuals to senior executives at payment gateway companies, including MasterCard, Visa and PayPal, with a few days recent significant action. As a result of our campaigns, team has introduced a new rule to their policies and remove hundreds of rape and incest games. So I remember people saying that a lot of these games on the list are not even really set. They're not games. They're not. These games are not like how they describe them. They're just lying if you look into it. But yes, Fratani incest BDSM. That's a funny name. Incest twins. So incest daughters. So it just looks like legal age incest to me.
Yes.
So let's go into the next article.
So here we go. And this is from before.
Yes.
So, open letter to payment processors profiting from rape, incest plus child abuse games on Steam. So,
they contacted all these people.
Yeah, they contacted PayPal, president of PayPal, the executive officer of MasterCard, the executive officer of Visa, executive officer of PaySafe Limited, CEO
Japan?
and chairman. Yeah, Japan. They contact Japan. Yes.
The corporation, all the Japanese banking systems linked to American One, PayPal, and Visa.
Yes.
So it's an international system. That's where you can go to other countries with your Visa and spend money. You can order stuff from other countries and really quickly. Yes. It's an international system. Your corporation facilitating profiting from rape, incest, and child sexual abuse game sales. The title's a lie.
Yeah. Like and we got to keep in mind, Japan as a country is very submissive to America and the West.
It's a puppet nation. Yes.
Yes.
It's a puppet.
It even introduced censorship laws because to just to imitate the West, out of a feeling of inferiority.
Yes.
So Japan isn't just pointing at Japan isn't the answer.
Yes.
So we, the undersigned, are writing to request.
And they just wrote a letter to them. Yeah. So I don't think we need to read this, or it's just.
Yeah.
They're just talking about.
Yes. So
let's
get back to the video then.
Yes.
Situation, how it pertains to Article 175 within Japan, and then we have a bunch of other creators talking about this as well, basically the exact same thing, and how this could spread and get a lot worse. So we need to get into the crux of the issue and what this fundamentally means for the future, not just of this site, but for creative expression within Japan. So, obviously, we have seen this bowling ball, this boulder that is rolling down the hill, getting much worse with time, and I think that we're seeing once again that happen. It's ramping up once again, the boulder is getting larger, and we're seeing that a lot of creators and content and
yes.
This guy's just as much to blame as the feminist because he's not naming the problem because he's a coward. Yeah.
Yes.
So we've been about this for like 20 years and it's been getting worse. Like Anissa Sarkeesian should have been booted out the gaming community. The gaming press should have been boycotted completely, ignored and shunned by the entire gaming community for supporting Anissa Sarkeesian. No money whatsoever. Right. Yes. Game who support Anissa Sarkeesian should be boycotted, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gamers did try to create a backlash to Anissa Sarkeesian. It was called Gamergate. And what happened instead is gamers just got demonized to hell and back. Just demonized to no end.
Yeah. And they tried doing fundraising campaigns for women. They tried to out-feminist the feminists. It was like literally, we'll show the feminists, we'll prove them that we're good guys, we'll run campaigns and raise money for women. Yes. Okay, fuck you idiots. But anyway, let's.
Well, yeah, all these male gamers just who are trying to perform backlash just had the completely wrong framing. They had no understanding of how to fight. Yes.
Stuff within Japan is getting heavily censored. I've mentioned this before in the past already in previous videos, but it does feel heavily targeted towards the Japanese. It really does feel racist at this point. And I mean, like, you have.
Yes, targeted to men. Again, you don't hear these censorship plays against women's fiction. like romance novels. Not even in Japan. But
Yeah.
Stuff like Mixtape, that is a game in the West that is doing very well, being given 10 out of 10 scores, but they have like basically in their own hypocritical standards, unable to separate fiction from reality. They see these two individual characters that are,
Porn.
yep, they can
They can
separate fiction. Yes,
separate from reality, right? You're validating their lies. They know the difference. They just don't like men enjoying the stuff, so they want to get rid of it. Yes.
yes,
teens going at it with Mortal Kombat tongue action, they're completely fine with that. But in turn, they will have problems with any form of content for anime or manga or Japanese content, for something very similar. And I think it really indicates that there is a lot of bias, hypocrisy, and also just a complete targeted, a targeted narrative against Japan itself when it comes to censorship of their content. It's definitely something I think anyone that's been paying attention to has noticed as of late, and it's definitely getting a lot worse. And honestly, I really think the only way to actually counter something like this, at least in Japan, is that the Japanese community needs to spread awareness of this and try to talk to their politicians, because this is not good.
men need to form a political movement. Men need to start political backlash. They're going to change the country. And yes, and this goes for men internationally as well.
So what we need, do what the South Koreans do, get feminists fired from their jobs in entertainment, right? Like as soon as the feminists hire, like that Huffington Post editor who tweeted "kill all men," she should have been hounded out of a job.
Yes,
made unemployable for.
Yes. We didn't do that. Men didn't do that. Men are just a defeated people, especially here in the West.
Yes.
This is really, really bad, because this is going to hurt a lot of creative expression, because if this is already hitting stuff like this is most likely going to hit, like, basically just regular anime, regular manga, regular games. We've already seen this effect already happening. Those that are saying it's not happening is lying to themselves, because we have seen...
Yeah, they went after horror games. But itch.io, they went after horror games as well. That got caught in the censorship crossfire. So it was nothing to do with sexualization. It's like, men like horror games as well. Let's get them as well, right? So
and we got the ID surveillance laws. They first targeted porn. Now they want to use them on everything, like your operating system or your phone. So.
Censorship of just regular standard, bog standard anime, manga, and light novel and gaming content from Japan. It is not just something that is of adult nature that gets censored, and this will just set a new layer or a goal for them to say, oh, we can go much lower now. We can censor even harder for this content within Japan. And if they get away with this,
there's no principle the only principle behind the censorship is men like this. Let's take it away from them. That's the only principle they've got.
Yes.
All right.
And when I censor stuff men enjoy, I feel this power, and I want to get more power. That's it.
Yes.
Control and power.
Sadism.
Yes.
It's not good. But overall, one takeaway I'm just going to say is that we really have entered a Shimonetta reality. It's legitimately bad, man. It's actually crazy just what type of era we're in right now. But I wanted to cover this because obviously this news is spreading fast, but not a lot of people within the West are aware of it. So I wanted to get the word out there to kind of spread word within, the English communities, but also hopefully more for Japan to actually take notice of this. But be safe, stay healthy. I love you guys. Chibi out.
Yeah, they need more than a word to get out. Men need a vehicle for action.
Yes.
Chibi is weak. No, all you can say is just stay safe, stay healthy. No. Men are just going to keep losing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is humiliating for men. This is I've just got a feeling I'm going to be locked out of my Steam account eventually. I've just got this weird feeling. I think I'm going to get hit with it. I bet you the adult games I'm going to be hit with content identification. There's going to be a time because they do it by boiling the frog. I predict next year I'm going to get I'm suddenly going to be hit with you need ID verification to play your adult games, right? And then it'll be for all games, right?
Yes.
So, yeah. I think we've covered this. I don't think anything more needs to be said.
Yes,
I don't think we've got anything to add.
many the men's rights movement that covers everything. Not just like the family court, not just conscription, but everything, like censorship of media and games.
Yes.
And men need political awareness as well.
And we need to censor the feminists as well, because all this comes from false feminist narratives, right? Misinformation, disinformation. But anyway, I'm done.
Yes. We'll just stop it here then. Right. Thank you for listening.